It's time to go Stride for Stride with John McBride, the bi-monthly podcast about participant races in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area. And now, here's John.
Thanks, Chuck. Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Stride. Before this show gets started, congratulations to announcer Chuck McKibben. Chuck was just selected to be the voice of Macy's Center City, Philadelphia Holiday Light Show. Now, this is a prestigious show that goes back 50-plus years to the days when the building was owned by John Wanamaker's. It is a tradition in Philadelphia. Chuck will be introducing the show that's narrated by Julie Andrews of Mary Poppins fame, and it's a huge honor. They could have picked no one better than our own Chuck McKibben. So let's have some applause for Chuck. Great job. If you're a first-time listener, what we do on Stride for Stride with John McBride is highlight the races for which I am the public address announcer. Now, if you'd like to hire me as your public address announcer for a race, baseball games, basketball games, special events, or something completely unique, send me an email at bird2562@aol.com. On this episode, we are highlighting the 2015 Performance Spine and Sports Medicine Trenton Half Marathon 10K run and 5K run. With us today as our guest from Always Advancing and Boss Events is the founder of this race, Chris Seiler. We've got Chris on the line. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Chris, now that the Trenton Half Marathon is in its fourth year, I have to ask, what inspired you to create this great event?
That's a good question, John. I think for years I've been going around the world and going to different events and attending them from another perspective as a vendor for the race and listening to different conferences and being a part of different groups and learning how to put on events. And, after doing that for a few years, I had sat down with my business partner and said, you know what, I think for us to really give back to the sport and the industry, we should try to do something on our own and try to put together a race locally and help support a community. So I run as often as I can, and one day I was running outside of our office in Morrisville, Pennsylvania, and ran across the Trenton Makes World Takes Bridge through the Capitol Complex and through the city of Trenton, looking at the Delaware River and the rich history that was in the city. And I decided that, if we're going to do something and put an event on, I think this would be the perfect setting for us to take place. It's a very picturesque course, beautiful scenery, a capital city of a state that I was born in, New Jersey. And so here we are 4 years later, and we thought about the idea and made it work. I always envisioned seeing Trenton Makes, the World Takes, that bridge on the metal. We've done that in a couple years before, and just building on the rich history that's in this area that a lot of people really, I don't think, know about.
The course is unusual in that it crosses over into two states, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. How were you able to accomplish this?
Yeah, excellent. I, looking at a lot of races and talking to a lot of people, there's a lot of individuals out there, whether it's marathon maniacs or fanatics and half marathon maniacs and fanatics that try to accomplish and do a race in, all the states and accomplish that goal. I thought it would be really cool because of the logistics and, geography of where we are, that we would be able to run and start the race in New Jersey and then create and craft a course that would able us to run into Pennsylvania and then come back and finish in New Jersey. So, with the two iconic bridges that we have in the area and the city being so close to Morrisville, which is a big supporter of the race as well, we were able to talk to the municipalities and open the bridge and the bridge commission and say, listen, we would love to cross your bridges. I think runners love that idea of crossing a bridge or going over a bridge. I ran the Pittsburgh Half Marathon a few years ago, and obviously Pittsburgh's the city of bridges, and thought that was really cool. And to add that aspect in our race, I think it's great. I think the runners love it. I think a few of them I've heard over the years are a little bit scared because they cross over those bridges and they're open, great bridges where they can see right down to the water. So they keep their heads kind of focused forward and not really looking down. But it's a cool aspect. And without the support of the Bridge Commission and, both sides of the river to be able to allow us to do that. We would never be able to do it, but they thought it was a great idea and would add really a cool feature to the race. So that's kind of how that all came together.
In the short history of this event, you've already had an accomplishment via young Anthony Russo that has landed the event on ESPN SportsCenter. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, wow. That came to us on an email. Just a mother had just emailed us saying that her son's sport was running. Only at 5 years old at the time, I believe Anthony was, he chose to run. My children play baseball and basketball and soccer and do a lot of sports that most young children do. But Anthony was a pure runner and loved running. And she had asked me if we would consider and allow him to run in the race as a 5-year-old and run a half marathon. This is something that he wasn't just trying to do as just a goal. His passion was running. His mother was very supportive of that. They ran together, and we had all of their support, and if they were okay with it, we were okay with it, and we thought it would really add to the essence of the race to see this accomplishment and to see this young boy just come across the line. And I tell you, he came across. I was there, standing there when we presented the medal to him, and he came across tremendously, and that he wasn't even struggling. And it was amazing to see all the media we got from it, and also the follow-up, him being on shows in Manhattan and showing off the Trenton medal, and that his sport was running and he loved it. His parents supported him in that endeavor, and we thought if they were good with it, we wanted to support it as well. So that was really a cool highlight for the race and its young years here.
I was looking over statistics on this year's event, and I saw that 70% of the runners are women. Was this by design, or is this reflective of trends in the running community?
Yeah, I go to a lot of conferences, like I say, and I hear it, and I look at a lot of half marathons, and the half marathon distance seems to be the distance that the numbers really are higher for women runners. I don't know really why that is. I also, maybe think that half marathons have more of a theme to it, where, in a marathon, there's not too much of a theme going into it. When I mean a theme, it doesn't finish particularly with a wine festival at the end, or it has music or whatever on the course, because those marathoners are, it's a serious task to be able to run 26.2 miles, the training that goes into it, where a half marathon sometimes is a tremendous goal. And don't get me wrong, finishing at 13.1 miles takes a lot of work, but it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit more of a fun atmosphere. And I think, women in running in the industry, they tend to like to do it more in groups. And, so if they're going to do something, they get their girlfriend saying together, hey, I'm going to run this half marathon. Why don't you be out there with me? And it gels. And you can see that in today with, we're sitting here live at the Trenton Half Marathon Expo, and I just saw another bus pull up with the BGR women coming off of it. And it's more about the experience, the fun, the camaraderie to running together than it is just accomplishing the distance. And it's a full weekend. So maybe that has to do with it, but I do see that being the trend in running as we go on.
Chris, you've been a great guest. Thanks for taking the time to be with us on the show. We really appreciate it.
This is tremendous. Thanks so much for all your support, and wish you well with the show, and thanks for having me. And we look forward to everyone being out there in many years to come. Thanks, John.
And for those of you interested in participating in the 2016 Trenton Half Marathon, visit their page on Facebook or visit their website, trentonhalf.com. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on the show. Of course, we thank Luke Jardell and the Hooligans for allowing us to use as our intro music their instrumental hit, Dominic Street, from their album The Ferryman. The Ferryman can be purchased and downloaded from iTunes. And as is custom as we sign off, we have a suggestion for your runner's playlist on your iPod. From Survivor, it's Eye of the Tiger, the theme of the movie Rocky II. It's available for purchase and download on iTunes. Have a great few weeks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
This has been Stride for Stride with John McBride. Be sure to check out our next podcast right here.
Okay, we got it. Yes, first take.